I mean, I'm just being myself. I'm not here to like suck nobody up or anything like that. I think, as like you said, when these roster changes happen,
Mhm.
I'm playing with these new players, and these
Yeah.
new players want me. And I'm not here
Mhm.
like begging for my job or anything like that. So I do
Mhm.
appreciate even the management, but still believing in me after so long.
Mhm.
And I mean, I'm just being myself, just playing the game, and I have teammates who trust me throughout that span, and they want me. So
Mhm.
I must be doing something right.
Hi everyone, welcome to 1v1. I'm joined today by Xeppaa, following Cloud9's 2-1 victory over NRG in the first game of the first stage of VCT
Mm-hmm.
Americas. So, I mean, it seems like you guys always do really well against NRG, even though NRG tends to be favored. Why do you think you guys are always like so competitive and so good against NRG?
I think the first time around, um, we were coming into the season with like 2.5 weeks of practice.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, to a certain extent, I did have a series where I was the one that's like kind of overperforming, but I wasn't overperforming, but in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I think our fundamental, like our team play, wasn't as good as it is now. I think this time coming around,
Mm-hmm.
um, us as a team, fundamentally, and like everything around it, we're just so much better. And I think the first time, like throughout the kickoff, we just didn't have enough time to practice as a team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when we played G2, it showed. I think G2 is probably the best team,
Yeah.
especially fundamentally. And MLBR was, they look good too, and they were top three. G2 qualified, they were one seed, and then MLBR was like three.
Mm-hmm.
But coming to the kickoff, I think we just needed more practice. I think this season or this stage one will show a lot.
Mm-hmm. So besides more practice, I mean, what sorts of adjustments did you guys feel that you had to make during the break?
I wouldn't say adjustments. I think there's a lot of things that we obviously need to be better as a team.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into stage one, you get to a certain extent like the adjustments are everything.
Yeah.
Communication, coming with the comms, Mitch coming with new ideas, and so our coach. I think everything as a team needs. That's what we needed. And
Mm-hmm.
with such short time notice during kickoff, I think we obviously didn't have time to show it,
Mm-hmm.
except for against NRG. But hopefully this time around that will show a better team.
Mm-hmm. You guys didn't make any changes
Mm-hmm.
during this break, which I think surprised a lot of people because Cloud9 has a tendency to make changes. Why do you think there were no like player changes made, and how surprised were you by that?
Um, I wasn't surprised because when C9 do make a change, it's
Mm-hmm.
not the management. It's not it's us as a team,
Mm-hmm.
and we collectively if we know things aren't going well because a certain player or certain like something is happening, then like we want to win.
Mm-hmm.
That we're not trying to like go through the whole year or season again and like and just not fix it when we
Yeah.
can. And I think this time when we lost kickoff, we knew what we had. Like I said, as a team, we came into kickoff with not a lot of prep time and not a lot of like practice. And I think
Mm-hmm.
we probably had like 3, 4, maybe 5 scrims on each map, which is not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew with time after kickoff and when we lost, I think we just needed the match experience. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
And with the whole coming to stage one, we had like a month, maybe a month and a half practicing,
Yeah.
watching other teams and things like that. And I think it
Right.
helped us.
Makes sense. So I know that you guys, Cloud9 has this tendency to start pretty hot, like during, the first part of the season, and then kind of fade later. What do you think the team needs to do to sort of maintain this momentum all the way through?
Um, I think we just need to keep being us. And obviously, a lot of the prep time and a lot of the things we did this off season leading up to the stage one. I think this is like there's so many things I can't really like say what we did.
Mm.
But this is like one of the first groups that we have very young people except for me and Mitch,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just there to learn, and we try our best to bring out the best in everybody. I think everybody has a great attitude, which is like a really good thing,
Mm.
and everybody's like eager to learn and
Mm-hmm.
and develop. And I think with the match experience and like with Oxy, this
Mm-hmm.
last year was his first year, and coming
Right.
into the season, he's like
Yeah.
not a veteran, but he's getting his toes
Yeah.
dipped in. Net has always played on a high level. He wasn't playing VCT, but before when he was on the guard was basically a tier one team.
Right.
And obviously with Vic is like the rookie now, and I think we have enough experience as a team to like teach each other and like hold each other accountable and just get better through that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's awesome. Sounds promising. So, it's been a few weeks since you guys have been on stage here. So, were you able to take some time off? Like, were you able to do anything fun, besides practice the last few weeks?
So after kickoff, we lost MMVR. We took a 1 day practice or 1 day off, and then we got back to scrimming for like 2.5 weeks. I think after that we took what was the tournament that happened? Kickoff. Where was it at?
Bangkok.
Bangkok. When Bangkok happened, we only took a 5 day break,
Mhm.
and technically 6 day break in like the last like only a month and a half span. And I think the 5 day break, I don't even know what I did. I don't remember. I think stayed at home. Went out to like Disneyland or just like one time, and then
Nice.
back to practicing again. So we didn't take that much time off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. How did it feel to be back on stage after a few weeks?
I would say leading up, it's always nerves coming into the match, but I think
Yeah.
like I can speak for everybody, a lot of pro players, that once you sit and once you start playing, the nerves go away.
Yeah.
I guess it's like more anxious.
Right.
But it's always a wonderful feeling to just like play a video game on stage where everyone's watching, 1,000 people watching. So it's always good.
Yeah. And I know you guys had a meet and greet after the match. So what's it like kind of meeting all the fans afterward?
This time it felt wonderful because the whole crowd was wearing C9 merch and like that. Usually it's not like that.
Yeah.
But for some reason this time around, I think that a lot of the crowds were cheering for us. So always very appreciated.
Definitely. So, I feel like you've kind of become, you're sort of the face of Cloud9 Valorant because you've been with the team for so long. I think it's 4 years this year. And as I alluded to before, Cloud9 tends to make a lot of roster changes. Why do you think you've been able to be on this team for so long? Kind of what's the secret to your longevity with Cloud9?
I mean, I'm just being myself. I'm not here to like suck nobody up or anything like that. I think, like you said, when these roster changes happen, I'm playing with these new players, and these new players want me. And I'm not here like begging for my job or anything like that. So I do appreciate even the management, but still believing in me after so long. And I mean, I'm just being myself, just playing the game, and I have teammates who trust me throughout that span, and they want me. So I must be doing something right.
Of course, yeah. How challenging is it, like adjusting to new teammates, and especially with new coaches, who maybe have different systems? How challenging is it to make those adjustments, like throughout the years?
I mean, it's very challenging when you're coming with a new roster every year. And you kind of basically have to restart. Even coming with this, like this season coming in kickoff, we had Rossi, who was our IGL, and then we removed him, picked up Midge, and I was like learning a whole new system. Right. It's not like a plug and play where it's like, if let's just say we remove Vic, our smokes player, we picked up a smokes player. It's not like it's just plug and play where like we have to learn a whole new system, and I think that's to me very challenging. And I think coming into this season, hopefully this group stays intact for a while, and hopefully we can show people that we are a good team.
Yeah.
And hopefully we just stay together.
Yeah, hopefully. Looking back on your tenure with C9, like, is there like a favorite teammate maybe from a previous roster that comes to mind? Somebody that you'd love to play with again?
I mean, it's a lot. I think Mitch is basically one of them. Zeta. I think Zeta's out in Korea. I think he's in the Army now. Vanity, of course, Zelsa's leave. I think everybody I've played with has been a good teammate. It's just things I didn't work out, so
Right.
But I don't think I've had a bad teammate or like even a teammate I didn't want to come back.
Makes sense. So I wanted to ask you, do you have like a pregame routine, like something that you do to kind of pump yourself up before games?
I wouldn't say anything to pump me up or routine. I mean, I do deathmatch. I have a routine where like I do 6 death matches. I do 3 Phantom, 3 Guardian, and I take like a little break, and then I just do it again after like 30 minutes. And that's like kind of my routine. I get Chipotle every morning before match, and then I take my vitamins. That's it.
All right. Well, whatever works. Yeah, just keep doing it. And then I guess just to kind of end this, like, are there certain teams or players that maybe you're really looking forward to playing this stage?
I'm excited to play everybody. I would always say G2 Sen, or anybody. G2 obviously being the best, and Sen, top 2 teams, and having Leaf on G2. Always want to beat them and him. Same with Sen. They have Zelsis, who another ex-teammate who I want to be in the considered the best 2 teams right now in NA. Right. But it's always enjoyable to play anybody in a match, and I always want to win. Never want to lose. It's that competitive feeling. Right. Anybody. I want to play anybody and everybody.
Yeah, no, definitely. So that's all the questions I have. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Any message for the fans?
Nothing to add, but of course, I appreciate you coming by, always supporting me and Cloud9. We need this continuous support, and it's always wonderful to be energy.
All right. Well, thank you so much for this interview. This was really great. and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.